You think your budget is helping you, but it's actually the cage keeping you trapped in mediocrity. Right now, while you're watching this, there are people making twice your income who started with less money than you have today. The difference isn't their talent, their luck, or their connections. It's how they think about their budget. Instead of seeing it as a restriction, they discovered something called the purpose map that transformed their finances from a survival tool into a wealth-building machine. What you're about to learn will change everything. Most people think they're being financially responsible, but they're actually programming themselves for permanent mediocrity through a single devastating mistake. They've turned budgeting into a prison system where every dollar gets locked into rigid categories designed around one principle: spend less. This approach feels logical, even virtuous, but it's destroying your potential in ways you've never considered. Traditional budgeting operates from a foundation of scarcity thinking. You sit down with your spreadsheet or app, list your expenses, and immediately begin the process of restriction. How much can you cut from dining out? Can you reduce your entertainment budget? What about switching to a cheaper phone plan? Every decision revolves around subtraction, around making yourself smaller to fit into predetermined boxes that someone else decided were responsible. This creates a psychological trap that most people never recognize. When you budget from fear of running out, you train your brain to think small and avoid the very investments that create wealth. Your neural pathways literally rewire themselves to prioritize safety over opportunity. You become so focused on protecting what you have that you stop seeing ways to expand what's possible. Think about trying to grow a garden by only focusing on removing weeds. You spend all your time, energy, and attention on what you don't want, constantly pulling and cutting and restricting. Meanwhile, you never plant seeds, you never fertilize the soil, you never create the conditions for something new to flourish. This is exactly what traditional budgeting does to your financial life. Research from Princeton University shows that scarcity-focused thinking creates what scientists call cognitive tunneling. Your brain literally narrows its focus to immediate threats and restrictions, making you blind to long-term opportunities. When you're constantly worried about overspending on coffee, you miss the chance to invest in the certification that could double your income. Consider two professionals earning identical $75,000 salaries. Sarah follows traditional budgeting advice and cuts her expenses aggressively, managing to save an extra $200 each month. She feels proud of her discipline and watches her savings account grow slowly but steadily. Meanwhile, James takes that same $200 and invests it in skill development. He enrolls in coding boot camps, attends industry conferences, and pays for advanced certifications. Within 18 months, James earns a promotion that increases his salary to $95,000 annually. Sarah is still earning $75,000, proud of her $3,600 in additional savings. The problem runs deeper than individual choices. Traditional budgeting categories like entertainment and miscellaneous keep you thinking in terms of expense management rather than life design. These labels train you to view money as something that disappears rather than something that works for you. You allocate funds to survive each month instead of asking which investments will transform your next 12 months. Your current budget categories reveal a disturbing truth. They're designed for survival, not elevation. Housing, transportation, food, utilities, and debt payments consume the majority of your income before you even consider growth. The small percentage left over gets divided among savings and discretionary spending, leaving almost nothing for the investments that could fundamentally change your trajectory. This survival-focused approach creates a feedback loop that keeps you stuck. You budget conservatively because you don't earn enough to take risks, but you don't earn enough because your conservative budgeting prevents you from making the investments that would increase your earning potential. You remain trapped in the same income bracket, congratulating yourself on your fiscal responsibility while watching others advance past you. The third stream, Ignite, resources your breakthrough opportunities and dreams. This covers starting a business, funding passion projects, taking calculated risks, and seizing unexpected opportunities. You dedicate 10 to 15% of your income to Ignite because this stream creates the possibility for exponential rather than incremental change. These percentages aren't arbitrary suggestions. They're designed to create a specific psychological shift that transforms your entire relationship with money. Instead of asking, "What can I afford?" you start asking, "What will this investment return?" Every financial decision becomes an evaluation of its impact on your future capabilities rather than its impact on your current comfort. The purpose map represents a complete reimagining of how to allocate income. Rather than dividing money into housing, food, entertainment, and savings, you channel every dollar through 3 strategic streams that work together to elevate your entire life. This isn't just a different way to track expenses, it's a fundamental shift from managing money to designing your transformation. Traditional budget categories actually work against your growth potential in ways most people never recognize. When you allocate money to entertainment, you're already limiting yourself to temporary pleasure rather than permanent advancement. When you set aside funds for miscellaneous expenses, you're planning for mediocrity. These categories train your brain to think about money as something that disappears rather than something that compounds. The purpose map operates through 3 strategic streams that create compound growth rather than linear savings. The first stream, Thrive, covers your essential foundation: housing, utilities, basic food, transportation, and minimum debt payments. This represents roughly 50 to 60% of your income and ensures you maintain stability while building upward. The second stream, Elevate, focuses entirely on investments in your growth and capabilities. This includes courses, certifications, books, conferences, coaching, health optimization, and skill development. You allocate 20 to 25% of your income here because this stream directly increases your earning potential. Every dollar spent in Elevate should return multiple dollars through enhanced capabilities. The third stream, Ignite, resources your breakthrough opportunities and dreams. This covers starting a business, funding passion projects, taking calculated risks, and seizing unexpected opportunities. You dedicate 10 to 15% of your income to Ignite because this stream creates the possibility for exponential rather than incremental change. These percentages aren't arbitrary suggestions. They're designed to create a specific psychological shift that transforms your entire relationship with money. Instead of asking, "What can I afford?" you start asking, "What will this investment return?" Every financial decision becomes an evaluation of its impact on your future capabilities rather than its impact on your current comfort. Harvard research demonstrates why this approach works so effectively. Studies show that spending on experiences and others creates more lasting satisfaction than purchasing material goods. The Purpose Map leverages this insight by channeling your money toward growth experiences, skill development, and opportunity creation rather than accumulating possessions that the transformation begins with what I call 30-day awareness tracking. For 1 month, you observe every expenditure without judgment, categorizing each expense into Thrive, Elevate, or Ignite. This reveals the gap between your stated values and your actual spending patterns. Most people discover they're allocating less than 5% of their income to growth while spending 30% on temporary pleasures and convenience. This awareness creates the foundation for strategic reallocation. You don't need to earn more money to implement the Purpose Map. You need to redirect existing money from consumption to construction. The teacher who spends $200 monthly on dining out can redirect that same amount toward professional development with profound results. Sarah exemplifies this transformation perfectly. As a teacher earning $45,000 annually, she felt trapped by her income limitations. Traditional budgeting advice told her to cut expenses and save more. Instead, she applied the Purpose Map framework by allocating 10% of her income to professional development through the Elevate stream. Over 12 months, Sarah invested in specialized certifications, attended educational conferences, and completed advanced training programs. These investments positioned her for a curriculum coordinator role that doubled her income to $90,000 within 1 year. Her $4,500 investment in professional development returned $45,000 in additional annual income. Sarah's transformation wasn't luck. It was the predictable result of aligning money with purpose, and her success followed a specific sequence that you can replicate starting today. Your budget isn't just a financial tool. It's the blueprint for who you're becoming, and right now it might be designing a smaller version of yourself. Every line item represents a decision about your future identity. When you allocate money to temporary comfort instead of permanent growth, you're voting for stagnation. Audit your current budget with one critical question. Is this serving the life I'm trying to elevate or the life I'm trying to escape? Your spending patterns reveal your true priorities, not your stated goals. Every dollar is a vote for your future self. Stop voting for limitation and start voting for the person you're capable of becoming.